Gopi Janabala Giridhari Gopi Janabala Giridhari Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janabala Giridhari Gopi Janabala Giridhari Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Jayamudirayat Nasta Praeshu Vabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. We're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, chapter number 14, entitled The Material World as the Great Forest of Enjoyment. Text number 14. So this verse is in prose. We'll just read the word meaning. Yada, when, to, but, because of misfortune. Parabadaya, in spite of exploiting all others. Anda, blind. Atmane, for himself. Na upanamati, does not fall into one's share. Tada, at that time, he certainly, Pitriputra, of the father or sons, Barishmata, as insignificant as a piece of grass. Pitriputran, father or sons. Va, or sa, he, the conditioned soul. Kalu, indeed. Bhakshayati, gives trouble to. Translation. In this material world, when the conditioned soul cannot arrange for his own maintenance, despite exploiting others, he tries to exploit his own father or son, taking away that relative's possessions, although they may be very insignificant. If he cannot acquire things from his father, son, or other relatives, he is prepared to give them all kinds of trouble. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Once we actually saw a distressed man steal ornaments from his daughter just to maintain himself. As the English proverb goes, necessity knows no law. When a conditioned soul needs something, He forgets his relationship with his relatives and exploits his own father or son. We also receive information from Srimad Bhagavatam that in this age of Kali, the time is quickly approaching when a relative will kill another relative for a small farthing. Without Krishna consciousness, people will deteriorate further and further into a hellish condition wherein they will perform abominable acts. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha Hey Krishna Karana Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gorange Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. No, not this. No, forgive me. So this is a verse from 5th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. In the previous chapter, we heard about Jad Bharat giving instruction to Maharaj Rahugana. And he was telling Maharaj Rahugana the nature of material life. He was telling him that the wife and family members, they can give so much trouble. They're like thieves and rogues. The senses, our own senses, are also like thieves and rogues. Thieves and rogues, if you go through the forest, they will take any valuable thing you have. So the same way, the senses are like plunderers. They take away any knowledge which we may have. Even though we may hear a lot of knowledge, We may have heard a lot of things we're told we should do and things we should not do, but the senses are so powerful. They plunder our knowledge and we act in foolish ways. So the senses are like plunderers, and then the wife and family members are also like plunderers, because they're described to be like ferocious animals which eat flesh. Maybe some of you will know Tulsidas Ramayan. Dinkadakini, Dakkibagini, Palak Rahu Kushi. Right? It's Tulsidas Ramayana. Tulsidas had some bitter experience in his family life. So he described something like that, that in the daytime, like a tiger, and at night, like a jackal. Business is sucking the blood. Palak Rahu Kushi, right? The idea is the wife, family members, they expect the father to provide, to work. And, and he has to work very hard to keep them happy. And if he doesn't bring home everything they want, then they can get very upset. Anyway, Jad Bharat was explaining these things to Maharaj Rahugan. So Sukadeva Goswami was telling all of this to Maharaj Parikshit. And so in this next chapter, the chapter we're reading from, chapter 14, Maharaj Parikshit asked Sukadeva Goswami to explain in more detail. He said, ordinary people, common people, it will be difficult to understand some of these allergies which are presented. Just like I was presenting just now, Tulsidas, a few people, one or two people, they could understand, but not everyone. So the same way, Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami to explain in more detail. It's important. Sukadeva Goswami was explaining these things because Maharaj Parikshit is preparing for death. He's preparing to give up his body. He knows he's going to die in a few days and he has to prepare. So Sukadeva Goswami, as the most expert spiritual master, he's preparing his disciple to meet with death. And the spiritual master is guiding him so that he is completely detached from the material world. That is very important. Not only must we be detached from the material world, we have to become attached to Lord Krishna. We have to transfer the attachment from the attachment to sense gratification to the attachment to devotional service. So Sukadeva Goswami is describing to Maharaj Parikshit about the nature of material life. How you have to work very hard to get practically no pleasure. And there's another famous song which we sing, that song, Bhaja Hari Mana, right? We sing, it says, and we sing that in we have to work tolerating all kinds of conditions. Sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's very hot, sometimes it can be very cold. But you have to work in all different conditions. And we have to work in the service of wicked and miserly people. And we work in their service to get some flickering happiness. Right? Chapala, how does it go? Chapala sukalaba lagire. Right? We have to work in the service of so many wicked, miserly people. Very common. You get a job and you find your boss is like that. And you will have to work long hours and serve them and make a lot of money for their sense gratification. And you get a little, tiny fraction. We get chapala sukha, very flickering happiness. And here in this chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami is telling Maharaj Parikshit that actually there's no happiness at all in the material world. It's simply the illusion to think some happiness is there. So Sukadeva Goswami wants to guide Maharaj Parikshit. He wants to make sure he has no attachment to the material energy, that there's no thought of happiness in this material world. And in that way, then you can fully give yourself up to Krishna. We have to be convinced. And of course, we know from Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has said, Abrahma Bhuvanaloka Punaravartano Arjuna. From the highest planet in the universe, Brahmaloka, down to the lowest, all are places of misery. Dukhalaya, not Sukhalaya, Dukhalaya. It's the nature of the material world. Now we all want to be happy, and that is not wrong. But the problem is we try to find the happiness in the wrong place. The real happiness is not in the body. It is not in serving the senses. But the real happiness is in the soul. And we have to connect our soul to the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. And the process to do that, of course, is simply by bhakti yoga. When we engage our senses in the service of Krishna, then we can actually experience what is real happiness. The pleasure of the body, the senses, it is just simply so flickering and temporary and so much trouble to try to enjoy even a little. Just for the sake of some enjoyment, people have to do so many terrible things. Just like people want to eat their meat. And what do they? They have slaughterhouses to kill the animals. In the just for the satisfaction of their tongue, they will breed the animals in hellish conditions, and then they will slaughter the animals in even more terrible conditions. And then these people will sit and eat the flesh, and they think they are enjoying. So of course this is illusion to think there's any happiness. In the same way people do things like drinking alcohol. And we're seeing all over India today, a lot of alcohol is being consumed. And people are very fond of drinking all kinds of disgusting things. They eat disgusting things and they drink disgusting things. Their habits are all very low, the mode of ignorance. And when people die in the mode of ignorance, then they take birth in the mode of ignorance. That is the result. The next body will be according to the consciousness at the time of leaving the body. So now we have the human form of life. It's very special to have a human body, and particularly to have a body in Bharatvarsh. Bharatvarsh is the most auspicious place in Bhumandala. It's the most auspicious place in the universe. And even the demigods, they aspire to take birth in Bharatvarsh. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu often said, Bharata Bhumite Haila Manushya Janmaja Janma Sartaka Karikara Paraupakar. Mahaprabhu taught that it's very great fortune to take birth in Bharatvarsh, to have the human life. But then, after making our own life perfect, we should want to do something to help others. We should want to give something to help other people. Para upakar. And people often appreciate this kind of work. Just like we see how in Calcutta before there was that lady, Mother Teresa. She was respected all over the world because of her benevolent work in distributing food to unfortunate people and giving unfortunate people shelter in her home. So that's para upakara. Of course, the work which she was doing was more material. We are a spiritual organization, and we want to give spiritual benefit to people. We don't have so much concern for material benefit. Although sometimes we do, just like Srila Prabhupada said, in Mayapur Dham, nobody should go hungry within 10 kilometers of the temple. So we like to help people near to our temple and in that area. But that is not the primary activity of the Krishna consciousness movement. In the times of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, there was also some famine or some flood, and they approached him to help. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, no, this is not our business. There are so many other people to do this work. And when the war came, they said, you have so many men, you should give some of your men to go and fight in the war. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, no, our men, they're all weak and skinny. They're not good soldiers. Like that, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was not much inclined to welfare activities. And similarly, Srila Prabhupada. You can read in the Science of Self-Realization how in Srila Prabhupada's time there was a drought here in Andhra Pradesh. And they wrote that they had a drought committee to fundraise. And the head of the committee wrote to Srila Prabhupada and requested Srila Prabhupada to donate for the relief, for the drought relief, for the feeding of the animals and like that. But Prabhupada said, he said, no, the problem is you're not doing enough yagya. He said, if you do yagya, you will get rain. And of course, Bhagavad Gita says like that all living entities subsist on food grains, and grains are produced by rain. And rain is produced by yagya. And yagya is our prescribed duty. All of us, we're meant to do some kind of yagya, right? Yagya, dan, and tapasya. These things should be done by everyone. So, Prabhupada told the man that we cannot donate for this. We have other work to do. But what Prabhupada did do was he came to Hyderabad and they had a big kirtan. And that night it rained. Srila Prabhupada ki. Right? So Srila Prabhupada proved his words by coming and doing kirtan. He showed how the problem could be solved by Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada also lectured on this kind of theme in Mumbai in 1977, just before his departure. The theme of the conference, the theme of the pandal was, there is no scarcity in the world except for Krishna consciousness. That people need Krishna consciousness and all the problems of the world can be solved. And Prabhupada taught that everywhere. He was in America and someone came with a Time magazine, and the Time magazine, the feature article was about crime and what to do. Because in the USA, there was just so much crime, and it's even worse today, of course. But crime was so common, and the jails were full, and they did not know what to do. But when Srila Prabhupada saw the article, he said, well, we know what to do. He said, we can solve the problem. And they arranged for Prabhupada to meet with the head of the police department. And Srila Prabhupada told the head of the police department, he said, if you will cooperate with us, we can help you solve the problem of crime. He said, you simply provide us funds so that we can have prasadam, we can provide prasadam every day. And we will have kirtan also. And we will speak some basic philosophy. And in this way, you will see the crime rate will be drastically reduced. He said, just give us the funds and we will do this for you. We will distribute prasadam for everyone. We will have kirtan for everyone. And you will see everyone become purified. And they will give up all of their bad habits. So the problem in the world today is people are in bodily consciousness. Everyone is thinking, I am this body, and my business is to enjoy the body. And for the sake of enjoying the body, we'll do anything. Prabhupada said, we will kill even our own relatives for a small fraction of money. And it happens, we see it everywhere. Families will dispute over, when someone dies in the family, they leave some money, all the relatives will come and they'll all fight. How much am I getting? Why are you getting more than me? Like this, they will fight with each other. They will kill each other just to get even a tiny portion of money from people. So they're thinking that money will bring them happiness. They do not know how to find happiness. Everyone is looking for pleasure and they're thinking, make money and enjoy. So many people make money. Is everyone enjoying? On the contrary, everywhere people are suffering more and more problems, more and more dissatisfaction and quarrel and argument all over the world because ignorance, they've forgotten Krishna. Krishna bulya jeev anadir bahir mukha itaiva maya tara deha samsara dukkha. We've forgotten Krishna since time immemorial. Instead of looking at Krishna, we're only seeing the bahir mukha, the external energy. We're only seeing this material world, the lights. We're seeing now in so many cars on the roads here, so many condominiums, bigger buildings. We're seeing these things. People are thinking how to enjoy, how to be comfortable. How long can you be comfortable here in this world? The problem is birth and death. Everyone who takes birth, they have to die. Sometimes people would say, no, people are living longer. The death rate is decreasing. Prabhupada said the death rate is the same as it's always been. 100%. Jatashehi dhruvam mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. One who has taken birth, death is certain. So we have to understand the real problem of life is not how much money have I got, what kind of house have I got, what kind of car have I got. The real problem of life is birth and death. Now you're here in this material body. Where are you going from here? Just like nowadays people drive the car, they have this GPS, right? You use the GPS and you tell the GPS where you want to go, and the GPS will show you the map and tell you, take the left turn at the roundabout and like this, you know. Anyway, you have to know where you're going from here. Now you have the human body. Where are you going from here? Next life. People are thinking, well, I will go to the hill station. I will live comfortably somewhere. Where will you live comfortably? Nowhere in this material world can you live comfortably. This material world is mrityu loka, place of death. Everyone is dying. You have to prepare for death. And to prepare for death, we have to learn how to be detached from this material world. Sukadeva Goswami is teaching like this to Maharaj Parikshit. Don't feel bad about leaving the material world. Rather, we should feel glad to leave this world. But we have to prepare ourselves for a better destination. And in order to prepare ourselves for the better destination, we have to start cultivating Krishna consciousness. So time is a very valuable thing. Time. Prabhupada quoted Chanakya Pandit that you can buy gold, but you cannot buy time. Time is more valuable than any gold. So we have to use our time in this human life very carefully. And in Sanskrit we say subhashya sigram, something which is auspicious. You should do it immediately, do it quickly. So we should become very eager to take up Krishna consciousness, to embrace fully the practice of Krishna consciousness. And embracing it fully means to take up hearing and chanting as a daily practice. Daily we have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and we have to come to temple. You have to come here. You have to take part in the programs. We have to have this spiritual practice. And in this way, it will help us to prepare for the better life. If we do not use our time in the service of Krishna, then we will be engaged in the service of Maya. We will miss a valuable opportunity to be Krishna conscious. So, human life, it's a crossroads. Where do you want to go? You want to go up? You want to go down? You want to come back? Devotees of Krishna, we simply want to take shelter of Krishna. Take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. That is our real business. Whether He wants us to come up or down, we surrender to Him. We will do whatever He wants. If we are serving Krishna now, we can be sure that in the next life, we can go on and serve Krishna. Just like Prabhupada gives the example, you have the machine for threshing rice. So it separates the rice from the the husk. He said, you can only use the machine for that. He said, devotees are like that. He said, they can only serve Krishna. Whatever situation they're in, it's only service to Krishna in every position. They cannot stop their hearing and chanting. We have to develop that attachment to the holy name. We have to develop that attachment to hearing from the Shastras regularly. So we encourage everyone, take this practice very seriously. Don't waste time. We are so fortunate. Krishna has given us nice temple, beautiful deities, wonderful kirtans every day. We have to take advantage of it now to work on our own self, to become Krishna conscious. Right? The one regulative principle over all other principles, smartavyam satatam Vishnu vishmartavya na jatukrit. Sarve vidi nishedashor etayor eva kinkara. Always remember Vishnu or Krishna and never forget him. That is the regulative principle over all principles. That is the most important thing. So we have to develop that consciousness to be Krishna conscious. Or if you like, Vishnu conscious, as you like. Gaur-Nitai conscious, Jagannath consciousness, Madan Mohan consciousness. You can take your pick. There's a choice. It's up to you. Who do you want to take shelter of? But surrender is important. That is required. We have to give up the idea of making ourselves happy in this world. We have to understand there is no eternal peace here in this world. All right, we'll stop here. Ask if there's any question. Anyone? Yes?
Devotees can raise hand to ask question.
There's some hand that's up over here.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Yes, go ahead.
How to attach to Krishna totally with purity, and how to reach Krishna instantly, fastly.
How to
attach to Krishna with totally 100% and with purity, and how to reach Krishna instantly, fastly.
Yes, how to attach to Krishna 100%? Well, you have to surrender 100%. Right? Bring all your money, put it in the donation box.
Family responsibilities.
Family, Krishna will take care of them. Right? 100% surrender, Krishna will take care. Right? How to approach Krishna faster, that's how you do it. You give everything to Krishna. Krishna will take care. Krishna is taking care of the animals in the forest every day. They get their food. You're not feeding them. Your family can survive without you.
And reaching instantly? Instantly, how to reach Krishna?
How to what? Instantaneously. I told you, put all the money in the box, you know.
Other than materialistic, other than money, how to reach with our consciousness?
Yeah.
It's Krishna's only. Money is also Krishna's only. I don't know. Everything is Krishna's. Our bodily, like with consciousness, how to make consciousness attached to Krishna?
Well, what you can do, you give your body to Krishna. You come and you just do service here all day. You spend the whole day here and do service. If you want to instantaneously come to Krishna, then you can do it in a moment, just like Gadvanga Maharaj. He had only a moment, right? So what did Gadvanga Maharaj do? When he had asked the demigods, well, the demigods asked Gadvanga, what benediction do you want? He said, just tell me, how long have I got here in the material world? And he told him, you have only one moment. So what did Gadvanga do? He came down to earth. He came to this planet. You're already here. You don't need to go anywhere, right? He came down to this planet and he fixed his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord and he gave up his body and went back to Godhead. So you're in the right place. You want to become Krishna conscious instantaneously? You're here. You don't need to go anywhere else. Just stay here and chant Hare Krishna.
Very blessed. Thank you. Very blessed. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Your Krishna consciousness is in everyone. Usually, you want everything, we like everything very fast, we like everything very quick. So, you have to be ready to cooperate. You have to be ready to give everything to Krishna. But if you're saying, I want to hold, well, I'll give everything except my money. You're making conditions, that's the problem. We want Krishna, but I want Maya also. Yeah. Okay, I'll be a devotee, but I want to keep, just like sometimes people join Krishna consciousness movement. And we say, okay, you have to shave your head. Oh, well, I'll be a devotee, but I want to keep my hair. I don't want to cut my hair. People don't want to surrender. We have these attachments. So you have to be ready to give up some things. Sometimes Krishna will take away the things we're very attached to in order to help us to surrender more. So that is Krishna's special mercy. You want Krishna's special mercy? Krishna said, when I am very merciful to someone, I take everything away from them so that they're helpless. And in that helpless condition, then they come and they surrender. But we're thinking, well, I don't want to be helpless. I don't want to, you don't want to give yourself up fully to Krishna. And you want Krishna to save you. Yeah, it doesn't work. You're trying to hold on to the material energy. At the same time, you want to surrender to Krishna. So you want to surrender to Krishna, you have to let go. Just like Draupadi, when they were trying to rip off her sari, she was thinking, my husbands are there, 5 husbands. But none of them would come and save her. And then she just surrendered to Krishna. And she put her hands up in the air and she called out the holy name of the Lord. And the Lord came as her sari and saved her. So she surrendered everything. The gopis gave up everything for Krishna. They gave up their chastity for Krishna. You want Krishna, you have to be willing to make some sacrifice. Give up the things which you're holding on to. Because these things which you hold on to, they will bring you back in the material world. They'll bring you another birth. Again in material life. You have to come again. So Sukadeva Goswami, he wants Maharaj Parikshit to be successful. That he knows he has a limited time. And he wants him to give up everything. And he wants him to understand there's nothing really to be attached to in this world. The money, pieces of paper, you know, how much happiness can it buy us? We're attached to these things, foolish things, the material energy. That's the illusion that there's any happiness in this world. So we have to be convinced the real shelter is Krishna. Give yourself up, you take shelter of Krishna, and He will save you from the material energy. So we're thinking, well, I have my family, I have my home, I have money, a little money, and this thing. Yeah, these are not going to save you. These are all temporary. Your home, your family, the family members, they come and go. The whole material situation, very temporary. So we have to learn to detach ourselves from it. And the way to detach is to hold on to Krishna. You hold on to Krishna tightly. Give everything. What does it mean to be liberated? Ihayasya harerdashe karmana manasagira nikilaspati avastastu jivan mukta sa uchate. You can be jivan mukta, you can be the liberated soul in this life. But you have to use body, mind, and words, all in the service of Krishna. That is how you become liberated in this life. So, Krishna consciousness is this program, preparing all of us to go back to the better life, back to Godhead, to go back to be with Krishna. But we have to give body, mind, and words fully in the service of Krishna. Body, use your body fully for Krishna's service. Maharaj Ambarish was cleaning the temple. You can come and clean the temple every day. Mind, use your mind to think of the deities and to remember the things you've been hearing in the temple. And words, chant the holy name and sing the beautiful songs of the glories of the Lord. Mahaprabhu was going everywhere singing the glories of the Lord. So this is how we use our words, body, mind, and words, all for the service of Krishna. You will be a liberated soul. Right? Okay. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Any other question, anyone? No? Yes? Well, the marriages have got the questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Oh, okay, Prabhu.
Maharaj. Prabhu, Krishna, he reciprocates only if we 100% surrender onto him.
No, Krishna said, as you surrender, I reward you. You think of Krishna 10 minutes a day, Krishna may think of you 12 minutes a day. So as you surrender, not only when you surrender fully does he reciprocate. He reciprocates according to your surrender. As you give yourself to Krishna, Krishna gives himself to you. So, yeah, Krishna's he's a person. He reciprocates. He understands. What is your mood? Is it, if you're not giving yourself 100%, then your surrender is conditional. You have conditions. And so Krishna also, okay, you have conditions. All right. So Krishna also puts conditions. All right, Mataji had a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thanks for the beautiful session. So, question is little long. Krishna tells Arjuna that if good people step back from society, bad people will take over. So, you must fight for what's right. Example I give. Bhishma and the Pandavas renounced the world with wisdom, but their silence allowed Duryodhana to do wrong because good people stepped back and bad people ruled. So, good people shouldn't renounce the world but must stand up and fight for right. So, here Krishna is telling us to fight for what is right. So, example I gave is of Bhishma's. So, he should have fought maybe against Duryodhana but not should have taken side of Duryodhana. And the second example is, we were also told to be like Jadabharata, to be calm and mind our own business. Example, Jadabharata didn't speak, didn't react, and didn't interfere, even when others mistreated him, including when he was about to be killed as a sacrifice to the goddess. So, what do we follow? Both the teachings are contradicting each other. One is saying us to fight, and other is saying us to stay calm and practice spiritual life. So, I'm confused. What do we follow? Should we fight when something wrong is going? Or should we just ignore and focus on our spiritual life?
Yes, well, we're fighting Maya. When you take initiation in Krishna consciousness, then it's declaring war on Maya. We're fighting the material energy. So fighting is not always with guns and weapons and bombs, but fighting is our book distribution. Our books are the bombs, you see. So Christmas marathon, devotees they're at war this month, you see. They're dropping the bombs to change the people by book distribution. So our fighting is of a special nature. Fighting Maya. Not surrendering to Maya, but fighting Maya. Stand and fight. Krishna says, stand and fight. And how do we fight? With good spiritual intelligence. We use our knowledge of Krishna consciousness to fight the material energy. Every day when we chant our japa, we're fighting our mind. So it's important for us. And Jadbharat, you see, he was silent for some time, but when it came to a certain point, then he spoke. He didn't remain silent all the time. At a certain point, he spoke and he gave good instruction to Maharaj Rahugana. And Maharaj Rahugana was impressed that, previously he was thinking he was just some imbecile. But once he spoke, then he understood he was really a great soul. So Prabhupada said, or Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said, that you can understand a person by how do they speak. How do they speak and what is his language? Person may look saintly, but you don't know how they are until they speak. So speaking is very important. And Jadbharat did speak when it was necessary. Then he spoke and he revealed. And similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, usually he did not like to mix with the Mayavadi sannyasis. But at a certain point, he met with Prakashananda Saraswati and the Mayavadi sannyasis. And then he spoke and he enlightened them all. And he got them all to chant Hare Krishna mantra. And they all chanted the holy name. And they all accepted his teaching. So yeah, we have to know when to speak and who to speak to. We speak to people who are ready to hear, who want to hear. We don't speak to people who are atheistic and who are offensive and we avoid these people. People who are offensive and atheist, who don't want to hear anything. We don't waste our time arguing with these people. They will just become more offensive. So that is not good. We don't want them to become more offensive. So we avoid these kind of people. So we have to know when to speak and who to speak to. But when we get the opportunity, we're always ready to speak. So this is how we understand Krishna consciousness. Is that all right? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we will stop here today. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Lord Premanande.
Hare Krishna. So we are very grateful to His Holiness Bhakti Vigna